Hello and welcome, Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and Twitch. Another loss for Cardiff City today against Middlesbrough at the Cardiff City Stadium. That makes it 8 losses in a row for the Bluebirds, our worst ever losing streak. No news as yet if Mick has been sacked yet. Can we? I'm just seeing now that the news coming out is that Dalman says that Cardiff is seeking finance, actively going out asking if anybody wants to finance the club. I wonder if we can afford to sack Mick McCarthy. There's rumours going around that Harris has come back to the club and is being touted as a replacement manager again. Yeah, Mark Harris, what the hell's his first name? We just sacked him. He might be making a comeback. We're still paying him off. So there you go, a 2-0 loss against Middlesbrough. Bamba came back, man of the match. He played out of his skin today. Why did we get rid of him? No idea. Warnock, come back to a hero's welcome. Fist pumping at the end of the game and doing the Ayatollah as he left the field. 2-0, 8 losses in a row. Tell us what you think. Leave a message below in the comments. I'll pop it up on the screen if you're watching us on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, leave a comment. If you want to join me live on the stream and vent some spleen, then go to cardiffcityforum.com/live. That's cardiffcityforum.com/live. You can join me live on the stream, or else pop a comment below if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. So yes, one thing I want to ask, was that a penalty? That first Middlesbrough goal, I'm not sure it was. Sprower in 35 minutes converted the penalty. But what's he supposed to do with his hand? He can't. His hand was by his side. The ball struck his hand. Was that really a penalty? I don't think it was. Let me know what you think in the comments below. The Middlesbrough fans brought a banner with them that said 570 miles, 12:30 kickoff, Sky putting fans last. That banner got a lot of applause from the everyone in the ground. The stewards told them not to do it again and then confiscated the banner. They had a point though, didn't they, the Borough fans? 570 miles to travel for a 12:30 kickoff, and Sky's just doing it for the bunts, basically. Let's have a look, see what comments are coming up. Gaz the Dude, hiya mate. Surely Mick has to go now. Yeah, surely he has to go. 4 or 5 games ago. We've been saying it every week, haven't we, mate? It's bonkers. It's bonkers. I mean, how has it not been announced already? He's doing a press conference right now, apparently, just giving the same excuses. Keith Thomas on Facebook says, just how did this happen? Whoever takes the reins will have to be a miracle worker with the lot we've got. They just don't seem interested. Yeah, it's not just the manager, it's the players too. They didn't play very well today, did they? Or rather, they were playing okay until they went down, and then I don't know. There were some decent players today, but they seem to they go down hard when they go behind. Thanks for that, Keith. Facebook user, no penalty, hand was down by the side, ball hit it, not intentional. I agree with you, mate. It was ridiculous. Presumably your name doesn't show up next to your comment because you're probably commenting on our Facebook group. Either go over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Cardiff City Forum, or if you want to give us permission to use your name with your comment, go to cardiffcityforum.com/Facebook and hit the blue button, and your name will show up next to your comment. Clive Mallard on Facebook says, what's the odds on Flynn being our next manager? Flynn's being touted, is he? Because I'm under the impression that the club ain't got no money to sack Mick. They ain't got no money to bring a new manager in. So be interesting to see what happens. Andrew Parsons on Facebook, 100%. That's Mick done now. Must be. Surely. I mean, Wouldn't you walk if you're a manager? 8 losses on the bounce, our worst record ever. You'd walk, wouldn't you? I don't understand it. It's all about money, I'd imagine. Rhys Williams decided to stay away until Mick has gone. No more words can say how unhappy I am disconnected from the club as a whole. Yeah, that's sad, isn't it, Rhys? You're not alone there, mate. There's a lot of people saying that. If you want to join me live on the stream and vent some spleen, go to cardiffcityforum.com/live and you could be here on the screen chatting with me. Otherwise, just leave a comment below if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, or if you're on cardiffcityforum.com, you'll see the thread Call the Colonel. Pop a comment in there if you want. We'll be going over to have a look at that soon to see if anyone's left any comments. Facebook user says, the only time we get a response from Cardiff City Football Club is when us fans take to the streets in our masses to get out Chew and Dalman. It's our club. Their inaptitude is destroying. If I was Tan, I'd be begging Big Sol to stay in South Wales and take over from Mick with immediate. Yeah, I know. It's an outrageous. Bamba. I'm surprised he didn't score today. He was bound to come back, and Warnock, they're bound to come back and give us hell. And that's exactly what happened today. Gaz to do it again. As I've said, it's got to be Flynn for me. Yeah. A lot of people saying that at the moment. Flynn, Chris Wilder was in the crowd, wasn't he, when we lost against Fulham midweek? So there's a lot of rumours about that. There's rumours about Harris being at the club again for talks. Facebook user says Mick should have gone after the Blackburn game. Get Chris Wilder, Nathan Jones, or even Gareth Ainsworth. Oh, that's interesting. A few names being thrown around there. Do you agree with that? Leave a comment below. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, or if you want to join me live on the stream, go to cardiffcityforum.com/live. You can be right here on the stream with me. Andrew Blackmore on Facebook says, we could do with Bamber and Peltier in our team. Been so many bad decisions made by the club. Yeah, I'd have Patterson back as well. We just chucking out players, that were making an effort for us. Yeah, it seems bonkers, doesn't it? Paul Bettany, sad times. I agree with you, mate. Paul Cummins said it last week. We'll say it again. Tan out. Yeah, well said, Paul. But I'm not sure we've got many options in that regard. There's literally a story coming out at the moment about Dalman publicly saying Cardiff are looking for finance from somewhere. Who joined this basket case of a club at the moment? Hugh Nicholas on YouTube. Neil Harris, no thanks. Yeah. A lot of people said he got a tune. He was the only one to get a tune out of, goodness me, what's his name? Tomlin. He had his plus points, but yeah, he's not as bad as Mick. Maybe we could have him back just for that fact. He's not as bad as Mick. Would you have Warnock back at this point, considering what we're going through with Mick? Let us know in the comments, folks. Stanley Williams on Facebook. I just can't understand why Mick never seems to play the best 11 players in the club, including the youth setup. It just baffles me. Yeah. What do you think of today's selection? Kiefer Moore was left on a bench for the first half, wasn't he? I wonder if there's something up with him or whether that was purely tactical. Rhys Williams, Dalman crawled out of the woodwork finally. Hopefully Mick and Clipboard Connor will be up the M5 today. Goodness me. Yeah, it's pretty amazing that they're still here at the moment, isn't it? I might go and check in with the forum just to see the comments there. View from the Ninian says, full-time 2-0. Just when you think you've hit rock bottom, you fall through another floor. It was all about Warnock and Bamba today. Both played a blinder and made an embarrassing situation excruciating. They should have put a stop to this last week, but surely have no option now. 8 in a row, worst run in the club's history, says Matt on Twitter. Surely there's no going back now. Board need to act and fast, otherwise we could be hounding them out of the club too. This can't go on. If McCarthy's still in charge at 5 p.m, he'll be here another week, says Plummerade on CardiffCityForum.com. Gloss Blue says, we made a Warnock team look like Brazil today. Yeah, it's crazy. And Martin John, Warnock is a means to an end. He turned the club around and gave them the gift of a miracle promotion and would have kept us up if not for a very few questionable decisions. A club with proper structure and director football like Borough Goodness me, I can't say that. Wouldn't have allowed him to put us in this mess. You got to laugh. What self-respecting man would not resign on a run like this? Says Blue Nugs. Yeah. You got to wonder. I mean, you'd throw the towel in, wouldn't you? Through the good and bad times of our recent history, it's been a long time since we were the whipping boys of any division. Says Blue Through on CardiffCityForum.com. Yeah, it's a sad state of affairs, mate. You've got it right. Let's see. Martin Garland on Facebook says, there's no manager out there who can keep us up this season. It's time for Tan and the two clowns running the club to have a good think how they're going to save the club. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, Martin. Are we going to get relegated this season? It's a genuine question. I mean, we're one spot, as it stands, we're one spot above the... Thanks for that, Martin, by the way. We're one spot above the relegation zone at the moment. Let's take a quick look at the table. But as you can see, Hull 1 point behind us, and they play. They've kicked off. Let's see, and if they win against Luton, it's currently 0-0. They'll go above us, and we will go into the relegation zone today at 5 p.m. if Hull beat Luton Town or even draw. I think. Let me double check that. Yeah, they got a better goal difference than us. So if Hull even draw, we go into the relegation zone today. What an awful business. Awful bloody business today. Let's see. Merlin Lashke on Facebook. 2 more games give me... Well, we probably will. Probably will. I mean, it's beginning to look like we can't afford to get rid of him. Thanks, Merlin. Terrific name, by the way. Oh, he's back again. Pujan Tan Sri Vincent Tan. I don't know what that means, mate. I hope it's not rude. Luke Nash on Facebook. Some new faces in the team along with a new manager. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Peter Griffiths on Facebook. League One next year. There'll be good away trips like the 80s again. I don't want to go back to those days. It was hard enough getting up. Goodness me. Cold nights on the Bob Bank. Trying to get up into this division. We're finally here, and I don't want us to go back down. Goodness me, Peter. Gavin Randall on Facebook. Yo, mate, how's you, lads? Have seen you for a while. Hi, Gav. I'm all right. How are you, mate? Let's see. Andrew Parsons says, relegation is genuinely becoming a worry for me now. For weeks I played it off as it wouldn't happen, but it's looking more and more likely at the moment. We need someone to come in and raise spirits, connect with fans, and charge us up that table. Yeah, Warnock. Let's get Warnock back. No, you're right. It's grim. Clive Mallard. Can't Cardiff afford to pay him off? Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it, Clive? It's looking increasingly like we can't pay him off. Is Harris coming back, rumours? Because we're still paying Harris off, of course. Neil Harris. Dalman talked to the fans this morning. He ruled out Morrison from the under-23s. Steve Morrison coming up. He refused to say if Mick was out if we lost today. He's which is making people think it is about the money, really. We'd have to pay off Mick, wouldn't we? Let's see. Gareth Sanderson on Facebook says, in tears, what the fuck is going on with that club? I'm in fucking North Norfolk getting abuse from Norwich City fucking fans, and they've lost fucking 7-0. Embarrassing. Do the players care? Did they lose 7-0? No, Norwich. I missed that. Yeah, that is embarrassing if you're getting stick off Norwich fans. What are you putting up with it? Facebook user, a new manager won't change the mess we're in. The club, total shambles, top to bottom. Yeah, that's pretty grim, isn't it? Merlin Lashke says, Snowflake. Okay, mate. Gaz the dude, at the moment, yes, it'll take a miracle to stay up. Yeah, bloody well, won't it? Rhys Williams, new voices needed on the training ground. Mick and his dinosaur tactics are outdated as his hairstyle. A manager who likes to play on the front foot is needed desperately. Yeah. I mean, we did bring in a young manager who wanted to do that sort of thing with Neil Harris, and he couldn't manage it. Is it the players who are to blame? Are we just not good enough players who can do that kind of thing, get the ball on the floor, pass it around? Are they good enough to do it? Are we blaming the manager? Maybe it's not his fault. Is it possible? Ethan123, good to see Warnock and Bamba have a good welcome. Is it? Warnock got us in this mess, didn't he? That's what people are saying. A lot of people were cheering Warnock on and gave him a hero's welcome, cheered him off the pitch when he gave us a fist pump and an Ayatollah, but wasn't he responsible for us getting in this mess? Let us know what you think in the comments if you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, or if you want to join me live on the stream, go to cardiffcityforum.com/live. You can come on the stream and vent some spleen. Ethan123 again. Mick McCarthy hasn't turned up for his post-match press conference. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Thanks. Keep me updated on that, because obviously I can't see what's going on. So, if Mick's on his way out, let us know. Andrew Parsons, Tan needs to spend some fucking money. That's the problem. I don't think he's got any, mate. That's the problem. I don't think he's got any money. All his businesses took a massive hit during COVID, and I think he's feeling the squeeze, billionaire or not. Chris O'Sullivan, there's a lot of effort being put in, but we didn't expect the football side to take so much of our time and attention. But it's time we focused on it, and we are focusing on it. Thanks for that, Chris. Ethan123, he got us promoted. Yeah, fair point. Ethan Warnock got us promoted. Yeah, I suppose at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do. Get up to the big leagues. Jonathan Pride heard mentions of Chris Wilder or even Mark Hudson as potential contenders for the job. Yeah, Chris Wilder was in the crowd, wasn't he, when we lost against Fulham midweek, and there's a lot of rumours going about that he would take over. Let's see. Yeah, the fans were singing at the end of the game, Mick McCarthy, get out of our club. Loud boos at the final whistle. Bamba, King back for man of the match. Warnock walked off, fist pumping and Ayatollah in, and Chris O'Sullivan. Dalman's comments before kickoff. There's a lot of effort being put in. We didn't expect the football. Oh, I see. Right. Okay. This was Dalman saying this. There's a lot of effort being put in, but we didn't expect the football side to take so much of our time and attention. It's a weird thing to say. It's time we focused on it, and we are focusing on it. Oh, that's such a strange thing to say. Dalman, you do wonder what's going on there, don't you? Michael Perlman on Twitter. Okay, what does that mean? Tell us more, Ethan. Keep me updated. Andrew Parsons, I think a risk like Hudson may be a decent shout. Why not? Fuck it. It can't be any worse. Can't it? All right, bloody hell. Let's take another quick look at the forum, shall we? Let's see what's going on over there. I'm just interested to see what news about... There's no threads at the moment saying new manager incoming or anything like that. Let's have a quick look at the caller Colonel thread. The fact, Dr. Lecter says, the fact that Mick is still here sums up the incompetence of the people running his club. I would suggest a fan boycott, but it looks like that's already happening. Dal Boyo says, 9 managers since Tan has taken over. Poor decision making. Dalman and Chu have destroyed this club. Goodness me. Let's pop over here. We've got Norris coming back on the stream. Welcome back, Norris. You all right, mate? Did you watch the game today?
Afternoon.
Oh, are you there? I can hear you. I can hear you. You there, mate?
Oh, can you?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I saw you posting on the CardiffCityForum.com earlier. You want Mick out. Who do you want in?
Well, now with Dalman saying that Steve Morrison is not an option because he doesn't want to risk it because we're in a relegation battle. But keeping Mick in charge is even more of a... Well, I mean, how can it get any worse than Mick? You know, and surely Morrison can't do it. Can't do much worse, can he? It's just
yeah, I'd be happy to see Steve Morrison step up, wouldn't you? I mean, he could, yeah, like you say, he couldn't do worse than Mick McCarthy, could he?
There's potentially there's been an interesting development. Mick McCarthy hasn't had his press conference after the game.
Yeah, someone just mentioned that. That's an interesting sign, isn't it? He must be having talks at the moment. But there's a lot of talk about the club can't afford to get rid of Mick or bring a new manager in. And it's looking more true by the minute. Have you heard anything about that?
Well, if you read like what Dalman has said, apparently it's got nothing to do with contract or money problems. It's like he even said that him or Chu don't have influence the managerial decisions. It all comes down to Tan at the end of the day. But to be honest, I don't know. I don't know what to. But every time when he speaks, I just can't. I don't know what to believe. I just don't believe him.
Yeah. What Dalman says and what actually is happening are two different things. You find out often. Would you have Neil Harris back?
Well, I can't see that going down well with the fans if that would happen. But at least under Harris, we never started five centre backs. But
Yeah, and he got a tune out at all.
I'd have Harris as a director of football because Harris, to be fair to him, all of his signings were quality.
Yeah, he did make good signings, didn't he? Gosh, I'm very interested to see what that means. Mick McCarthy not turning up for his press conference. I hope that
busy writing up the statement. Hopefully,
I see on the forum you've just posted this tweet. Possible breaking news. We still have not had Mick McCarthy for his post-match presser. I would suggest this amount of time means a statement could be on the way. No definitive word from Cardiff yet, but I think McCarthy's time at the club is over. Not before time either, Norris, eh?
Well, yeah, it's well, all we've done, we've just wasted two more games since the Jacks. That's all we've done really. And when you watch the players today, the only players that tried today were the youngsters, Rich Colwell, the senior pros. They just didn't look interested at all.
Yeah.
Look at Flint and Marlon Pack. They just wanted to pick up yellow cards. So they just put in reckless challenges. They wouldn't even have cared if they got sent off or got booked. It was just they were just going through the motions at the moment. They know that probably another bad result. It's obvious Mick has lost the dressing room. There's no question about that.
Well, Chris O'Sullivan on Facebook says, Mick McCarthy spoke to Sky Sports after the game and basically confirmed he's lost the changing room. So he has spoken to Sky Sports, apparently. That's interesting. Ryan Morgan says, why doesn't the board pack their bags with Mick the Dick and leave? Oh, blimey, all right. And Hugh Nicholas says, Norris loves Harris. That's a deep burn. Reese Williams says, I wouldn't trust or believe anything Dalman says. I remember him saying, I feel like a cat who got the cream after a point in Ole. Yeah, I remember that. God, blimey.
Harris got us into the playoffs. So people forget that. Harris got us into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that seems to happen with our managers. They have a good streak and then a terrible streak, doesn't it? Maybe that's just.
And he got the best out of Tomlin as well in his career.
Say again.
And he got the best out of Lee Tomlin as well. There's no question about that.
Yeah, he got a tune out of Tomlin. Yeah, it does suggest that. With all these managers starting off well and then it going downhill a bit, it does suggest that the players should shoulder some of the blame, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised because they know that their contracts are over in the summers. They're just thinking, why bother putting the 100%? Because we know we're going to be out of the club next summer anyway. Because half that team, Pack, Volks, Rolls, Flint, they'll all be gone next summer.
Yeah, So
I know it's because players these days, the circumstances can be very unprofessional.
Yeah. Facebook user says, according to BBC Sport, Mick McCarthy told... Oh, right. Oh, yeah, no. He told Sky Sports if he's getting sacked, he wanted to give it a go before he got sacked. I'm not even sure what that means. Another Facebook user says...
He looked very broken after the game, I have to be honest. Mick looked like he knows that it's the end. He knows there's no coming back from it. He knows. I would be very surprised if he's still in charge by Monday. I'm very surprised.
Yeah, we've been seeing that for weeks, or haven't we? Vincent Tan needs to look deeper into what goes on at his club. He's not taking enough interest in what goes on, says Facebook user. Yeah, he doesn't seem to be interested in what's going on. He doesn't show up for games. Mind you, he's the other side of the world. Just It's tough for him to get across. Ethan123 says he didn't say he lost the change room. Oh, he didn't say that. Oh, well. Okay, stop fibbing to us, guys. Martin Garland said, how can Dalman say he's so focused on the City when he wanted to fuck off to Charlton in the summer? Good news. Hull are 1-0 down. Oh, that's good. That is good news. Maybe we won't end up in the relegation zone this evening. Keep Luton. Get stuck in, lads.
We
Goodness me,
we can't put ourselves in a situation where we're just relying on other teams for results. And at this part of the stage of the season, that's just unacceptable.
Sorry,
'cause-
mate, I'm struggling to hear what you're saying there. Let me pop my other headphone in on this. Sorry, mate, say that again.
we can't at this stage of the season. We can't just rely on other teams' results for our benefit. That's just unacceptable at this early part of the season.
Yeah, no, it's true.
It's something's got to give. I mean, they say that he had the Fulham and the Borough game, and he's lost both of them. No goals scored, 4 goals conceded, and we probably today we actually probably looked even worse than we did. It was on par with the Jacks, I thought. To be honest, the performance today.
Yeah, there's no improvement, is there? He's got to go. I mean, he said that give me a couple of games. We gave him a couple of games. Things have not improved. Surely he's got to go. If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube or on CardiffCityForum.com, leave a comment below. If you want to join us on the stream and vent some spleen, you can be right here with us, chatting with us. If you go to CardiffCityForum.com/live and join us on the stream. Got a couple of comments here from social media. Oh, we already read that. Yeah. Oh, whoops. Martin Lloyd. Harris, what meds are you on? Gaz the Dude, hope it's true. Not sure what that's in reference to. Ryan Morgan says, apparently Harris has spoken with the board twice this week. If true, is this true? Say again?
That was all started from Anis's board, so I wouldn't.
Was it? Oh, right. So, well, ignore that then. Hull losing. That's good news. Brian Morgan says about a comeback. Sorry. Reece Williams. Meanwhile, Luton are 1-0 up. No bottom 3 tonight. Well, don't speak too soon. Stanley Williams on Facebook. Mick said to Sky after the match, apparently when he made the change at halftime, he said to the players, if I'm going to be sacked, let's go down with a fight. Yeah. Hey?
I wish they didn't.
Yeah, it didn't work, obviously. Chris Walkley on Facebook says, was it me or did Moore intentionally pass up Mick's handshake at the end? Oh, I didn't see that. Did anyone else see that? Let us know.
I didn't see that. No, I didn't notice that. No, news to me.
Goodness me, imagine that. Oh, good. Well, he didn't. He was benched for the first half, so maybe Moore was pissed off about that if that happened. Wes Stroman on Facebook says, Jonathan Pride, I'm afraid your man Mick has lost the dressing room. Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? Facebook user.
It's obvious because even the players, they're just putting in 50%. They're just going for the motions. They're just. I wonder what they're saying to each other in the huddle when they have the pre-match huddle. They must be saying to themselves, right, just get this manager sacked, just not perform.
Facebook user says, it's time for a major clear out of the club. Dalman and Chew out. Appoint Mark Hudson and we need a sporting director McPhail, ideally. Yeah, that might be interesting. What qualifications have McPhail got for that sort of thing? What's he doing now?
McPhail, he's a sporting director for Shamrock Rovers.
Of course. Yeah, no, I did see the picture of him in midweek. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that might be a good shout. Clive Mallard, Tad needs to get rid of Dalman Chew before we get a new manager. Relegation, here we come, and start League One with a new setup. No! People saying we need to go down and rebuild. We'll never come back. Would you take a relegation, Norris?
Well, well, there is no question that the club needs to be ripped up and start again. There is no question about that. Absolutely no question. And if it takes a relegation to get us on the road back to recovery, then so be it. Sometimes you got to because all we've been doing we've just been plastering over the an open wound basically. We need to properly stick with it.
Well, there
It's
you
just
go.
the writing's been on the wall for the past few years really, and it's now it's starting to come to fruition.
Well, there you go, Clive. That's vindication of your point there, saying we should go to League One and rebuild. Maybe we should. Ethan123. It's not true about Harris, by the way. Yeah, Norris was saying it came from a certain forum that shall not be named. Jonathan Pride on Facebook. You mentioned a Brucey bonus may come our way with Steve. Ha ha.
There we go. He's sacked. He's sacked. He's sacked. It's breaking news. He's sacked.
Oh, is he gone?
Yeah.
Is he gone? Is he?
He's gone. He's on Sky Sports News. Cardiff City sack Mick McCarthy. Breaking news.
Cardiff City sack Mick McCarthy. This, well, there we have it. Let's try and find that. Surely someone's posted that on the forum, have they? Or is it? Is that on? Let's take a quick look at Twitter.
The yellow banner across the screen. He's gone. Yes. What a relief. I'm relieved, honestly. He's gone. Go on the official website. He'll be on there.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm hoping we're still streaming. I accidentally refreshed the page just then. I was trying to refresh Twitter and accidentally disappeared there. Norris, come back if you can, mate. The news has just come in that Mick McCarthy has been sacked. Let's see if people are saying. Reese Morgan says yes. That sounds like it's going through. Martin Lloyd, inevitable, but what about True and Dalman? So yeah, it's looking like here we go. It looks like Mick going with immediate effect. Come back, Norris, if you're listening. I accidentally refreshed the stream, mate. I hope we're still live on Facebook. It looks like comments are still coming through, thankfully. Just checking Twitter. He's gone. It's on Sky Sports. It's being announced everywhere. Mick McCarthy has been fired. Yes, says Lee Palmer on Facebook. Get the correct man in, give him time to build, get rid of the shite here. Mick McCarthy is gone. It's breaking news. Andrew Parsons says, yeah, he's gone. Ryan Morgan, fuck sacked in the morning, sack right now. Mark Page, Tan said years ago that go back to blue, there'll be no further investment. Is this now biting us on the ass? Well, that's an interesting way of looking at it, but I just think that he's got no money. Ethan123 can't see it on the official account. Well, if Sky Sports are reporting it, then surely, I'm refreshing Twitter here, and Gaz the Dude, yay, best news of the year. Goodness, can I Norris Cole, he's got, all right, Norris Cole over on the CardiffCityForum.com says he's gone. Just would love to see this mentioned on Twitter. Aussie Sandwich Bar in Whitchurch. If you go in and mention Cardiff City Forum when you buy a sandwich, they'll give you a free Lavazza coffee or a cup of tea. So pop in there. All right, lads. They're a forum sponsor. Just thought I'd get that plug in while we're here. Let's see. Wes Strowman says we will get Bruce Holloway, Pulis, Allardyce, or Pride. Yeah, it's.
Hello.
I noticed you're back. Sorry about that, mate.
No, that's fine. I just want to make sure. I couldn't find the statement, but then Jeff Stelling basically just said that Cardiff City just sacked Mick McCarthy, and it's all breaking news down on the yellow strip going by. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, nothing. I see Gloss Blue is saying nothing on the official Twitter page or website yet, but if Sky Sports are saying it, then you can pretty much bet the bank on it, can't you? Thanks for that, Gloss Blue. Yeah, so gosh, if Mick's really gone, then who comes in? That's next, isn't it?
Jeff Sterling has mentioned that Steve Morrison will take temporary charge.
Oh, yeah, Martin John on CardiffCityForum.com saying Steve Morrison to take temporary charge of Cardiff City now that Mick McCarthy has been sacked after
I'd give it to him until January. I would give it to Steve Morrison until January.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that. Oh, goodness me. Who do we fancy as our new manager? SU comes out with the selection. Stanley, it's looking like Morrison, Steve Morrison from the under-23s, who's done such a terrific job with the under-23s. Let's hope that he can turn this around for the first team. And that's wonderful news, isn't it, Norris? Just what we wanted.
Fantastic news, yes. Because I was starting to fear that it'll just be dragging on for another week or two or something, you know.
Yeah, especially because Dalman this morning was saying that. Sorry, I got distracted there. Yeah, Dalman met with fans this morning and said that Steve Morrison was not being considered for the job, but here he is being offered the job. Yeah, Ethan123 on YouTube says Dalman lied. Not like Dalman to lie, says Nicholas on YouTube. Yeah. Facebook user Morrison to take temporary charge. It's being confirmed, says Chris O'Sullivan. He's been sacked. Cardiff City official Twitter. Let me see if I can find that. I want to look at that. Make sure it's actually real. There you go, folks. Cardiff City Forum. Cardiff City Football Club can confirm the first team manager Mick McCarthy and assistant manager Terry Connor have left the club by mutual agreement and with immediate effect. It's finally happened. Mick is out. Mick has gone.
Mutual agreement. So that means they must have found they must have found a halfway to reach an agreement to pay him off. Then he must have.
He must have finally his conscience got to him and he's walked and he's taken whatever they offered him because he couldn't stick around for a 9th loss in a row. Oh, goodness me. He's been sacked. It's finally happened. Mick McCarthy is out. Wes Drummond is Steve Morrison, Sean Morrison's brother. Stanley Williams says, okay, thanks. Steve Morrison will get us playing football now. And joining us, hopefully, is Del Boyo. Are you there, mate?
Hi, lads. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Whoops.
Hi, Norris.
The camera. Sorry, Del Boyo. Yeah, I'm very well, mate. Have you just heard the news about
Yes.
Mick McCarthy?
Yeah, brilliant news. Really, about time as well. Now hopefully Dalwin and Chew can go as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently Steve Morrison's coming in, taking temporary charge. Are you happy with that, Del?
Well, my mum could do a better job than McCarthy, so anybody for me. Anybody, but the way the under-23s are currently playing, was it 6-7 games undefeated? It's good. Well, anybody can manage it for all I care. Yeah. So yeah, good news.
It's bad news for the under-23s, but good news for the first team, isn't it?
No, but hopefully now we can also see more like the youngsters can actually play in their proper positions and play in a more progressive way. And I don't know why Kieran Evans didn't get a role today. I'm surprised he didn't even, he didn't even get off the bench after his performance against Fulham in the second half. But now with Steve Morrison, he'll put all his faith into those players now because he's developed them, and Cole will. And you watch, it'll be night and day. You watch. We'll start performing much better and playing a better bit of football, better brand of football.
Well, but saying that, how long is it going to take before Steve Morrison's going to lose a changing room? It seems to be a load of bad apples in Cardiff at the moment. They've done it with Warnock, they've done it with Harris, and they've done it with McCarthy. So I think it's the players need to have a long
Yeah, I
good
think
look
it's
at
because
themselves.
because I think what's played a part in it is that they know that their contracts are up in the summer, and they're not willing to put in 100%, and they're just going through the motions. I bet that's probably one of the reasons why, because the players like Morrison, Flint, Pack, and Rolls, Volks, they'll all be gone in the summer, and they're thinking, why bother? Like that sort of thing.
Well, Norris, if
Yeah.
that's the case, is Steve Morrison going to be able to get a tune out of any of our players any more than Mick did?
Well, I'd have more faith in him with what we're doing with the youngsters, because that's the future that we need to worry about is the Volks, Morrison, and players like that. They won't be relevant to us very soon, and we got to develop because McGuinness, he looks a good player. I know he didn't have a very good performance today, but due to everything else that's going on, but um. But Mick, there was no question. Mick had to go. There was just no question about it.
Yeah, he
Definitely.
certainly did. Comments are coming in. Go on, Dal.
Who would you like to have in charge, Colonel?
Well, I saw a lot of people saying Chris Wilder, when he was watching us play Fulham, a lot of people were very complimentary about him, and I didn't see a single person say that they didn't want him as manager, so I would have been happy with him. But, I mean, Steve Morrison coming in, I'm really pleased with that, actually. I think giving him till January, I think, who knows, he miid turn the ship around.
We'll probably bring in Nigel Atkins or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I do think that I think the club is skint, and I think Morrison was the only option, mind you.
Because he's just been sacked, didn't he, Nigel Atkins at Charlton, didn't he?
Yeah. He wouldn't be expensive, but we wouldn't want him either.
He did a cracking job at Southampton, but that was a few years ago. Yeah, he did Nigel Atkins. He did a cracking job at Southampton because he played good football under him. Well, he laid the foundations, didn't he? But that's a few years ago, mind, didn't it? And that's moved on a bit since then.
Yeah, the game's moved on. Hopefully, with Mick outgoing, that'll be the last we see of the dinosaur managers. Maybe Steve Morrison can bring a whole new ethos to the club. Wes Strobman on Facebook says, love that. They won't be relevant to the team. Reece Williams says, the club cannot rush the next appointment. It's mission critical for the future of our club. Stanty says, Alex Neil, he wants in. He's been sacked, says Leon Anderson. Yeah, we're seeing that now. Mick being sacked. Mark Page says Wilder fell out with the owner of Sheffield United. He'll stand no chance with Tan. West Strom says breaking news. Yeah.
I don't get the Alex Neil choices as well, because Alex Neil he comes across as one of those managers. He's like a younger version of the dinosaur managers. He starts off well and then he goes stale. Because I was reading one of the Preston and Norwich forums, and he's saying that over time he ended up playing players out of position and having favourites. And does that sound familiar?
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, isn't it? Say again.
I mean, we don't want that again. You know, a manager coming in, playing players out of position and having favourites over form.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, mate. It's the last thing we need. We've had too much of it already. Because I mean, it looks to me like we've got some decent players in. We've got some good youth. All we need is a good manager, and we should be flying up the table from now on, shouldn't we? I mean, we've got some tough games coming up, though, haven't we?
Well, it's just first and foremost, you're just getting away from that bottom three at the moment. That's the main thing, because with the Christmas period coming up, that's where we got to pull away, because around that period, that's when you have to, because we were in a similar position when Trollope left, and around that Christmas period, that's when we pulled away. And if we're still stuck in it by January, we're probably, it'll be very, very difficult to get out of it.
Leon Anderson saying, would you bring Harris back? Obviously, there was rumours about Dale Harris being brought back from a rival forum. So, what was that, mate?
Let's not go with the way that was mentioned.
Yeah, let's not go there. Where's Stromman says, Leon Anderson, would you eat a turd sandwich? No, I'm not sure what that was in reference to. Who are we going to get next? Says Leon Anderson. Mark Page, personally, I would give Flynn a punt. Can't do any worse. Yeah.
No.
No, you wouldn't?
Well, after what Stanty saying that didn't Stanty say that he's an alcoholic or something?
Well, he would know. Blimey. All right,
What's the bookie? Is the bookies up yet? Is the odds on already for the next potential replacement? Are the odds on? Is there any bookies?
I don't know.
They usually react really quick, don't they? The bookies, don't they?
Oh, really? Well, if anyone knows, let us know. If you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, pop in the comments. Are the bookies giving odds yet on a new manager? I mean, is it been confirmed that Steve Morrison is definitely going to take over? That's one thing I want to know, because I haven't seen that confirmed on Twitter or anything. So let us know about that. And if you want to join us on the stream, we're going to be going for a little while longer. Go to cardiffcityforum.com/live. You can join us right on the stream and vent some spleen. And we got a quick message here from Andrew Parsons. Says, definitely time for a young attacking manager now. Had a few old heads playing hoofball. It's time to start from scratch. Morrison will trust in the youth, which may in turn create some more exciting, free-flowing football. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Del, are you looking forward to Morrison's term as manager?
Yeah. Well, it can't be any worse than what we currently got to witness. So yeah, looking forward to it. It's like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
It's one of my choices, so I'm definitely excited by it. Intrigued by it. Yeah.
Yeah, we got. He's got a week now. Who are we playing next? You know.
Stoke away.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, Stoke.
The motorbike just go past someone's house then.
Yeah, mine.
Right, so we're playing Stoke next week. Let's have a quick look at the table. Where are Stoke in the table? Oh shit, they're in 5th. So that's a good team. That's going to be a tough first game for Morrison there, isn't it? Let's see. Let's have a quick scan at the scores while we're here. Swansea 0-0 against Birmingham City. The Wurzels are losing against West Brom, who got beaten. West Brom got beaten by the Jacks, didn't they, the other day? Luton is still beaten.
It's not been a great season for the dinosaur managers, has it?
Is it any wonder?
Nigel Pearson, he can't get a result there at the moment. Chris Hughton, he's been sacked. Now Mick and Steve Bruce and all the others are out of a... Well, I think Warnock is probably the only one left. Right?
Yeah, and the Middlesbrough haven't been happy with... the Middlesbrough fans haven't been happy with Warnock. Hey?
Yeah, I think on their forum, they want him out as well, didn't they?
We were taking a look at the Middlesbrough forum earlier, and they wanted Warnock out. It sounded very much like what our forum used to sound like, but they've been on a winning streak of 3 games now, so surely they're changing their tune a bit now. I'd have thought, wouldn't they?
Yeah, well, when they start losing again and they start playing the old terrible football, then it'll go back to the old retro. That's the thing. I see. It's a short term, isn't it?
Is Stanty saying that's slander, Colonel? Sorry about that, Stanty. Facebook user Sky said Morrison is in temporary charge. There you go. So that's good enough for me. Gaz the dude, I don't understand the negativity with Flynn. Okay. Facebook user Stoke away, QPR and Huddersfield home. So yeah, got some tough matches coming up. Thanks for that, Facebook user. They also said the team need a few old heads to show some leadership. There's plenty available for free, all out of contract. There's a few on this list who would do a good job. Too many players in the team are just not good enough. And he gives a link there, which I can't click. Wes Drummond, Pep Guardiola or Jonathan Pride. Wes Drummond, nah, I'm a sheep. Let's go with Van Wilder. Disgraceful, don't get easier. Stoke next. Goodness me. Del Boy's gone. Let's see. Yeah, if you're on Facebook, well, go on. Sorry, Norris.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why we never went for like an Italian or a Spanish manager or something. We've never went down that route before. I mean, because I think to something different for the club. Like we've never had that sort of manager before that likes to play like a more of a passing continental style of football, and he'd have like contracts from abroad.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know. Surely, there's surely be a manager in like an up and coming manager. Like look what Norwich have done, or where they bring like an up and coming manager coach from Germany or Spain or Italy. You know why? I know I'm saying the same thing, all Brentford and all that, but it's it's so basic and what we could do and achieve, but we just don't do it. We just always choose the blatantly wrong option every time.
Yeah, well, I mean, Brentford have done it the right way, haven't they? They're doing all right, and they should be the example for us to follow. But yeah, a continental manager would be interesting, wouldn't it? It'd be something different. They'd have different contacts within the footballing industry, and they'd know different players and stuff.
The problem with that is that they would need a good We need a good director of football as well to scour those players abroad as well, and then. You sign those players and for that coach to work with those players. And if that coach doesn't like those players, get rid of the coach. If you don't like them, I'll find another job and I'll bring another coach in that will coach these players. You're not a manager. You're just coaching these players to make them better. That's all you're here for. That's how Watford are run as well. Watford are run like that. See how they go through so many managers in a season? I mean, Claudio Ranieri, he'll be gone by next week.
Yeah.
And yeah, because Watford they'll probably finish the season on 5 managers, but they always get results though, don't they? Because they've got a system, they've got a plan.
Facebook user says we have not scored a goal since Blackburn Rovers. Martin McGain, hiya mate, on Facebook says Marlon Pack, Giles and Collins were woeful today, slow and no fight. Yeah, it's a shame what's happened to Giles in recent times. He went from being a guy who was bombing down the wing and sticking in crosses directly onto heads, and he seems to have lost it recently, hasn't he?
He stuck a couple of good crosses in mind, but didn't find anyone. You can tell that, like the rest of the players, he's just low on confidence. He's just low on confidence. He just needs a new. They all need a new lease of life, and then hopefully, Morrison, young coach, you'll get them all fired up and start playing again.
Glossbrew on CardiffCityForum.com says Steve Morrison and Tom Ramosset will oversee first team duties at this time as the board of directors begin the process of appointing a permanent replacement from the official statement. So they're not looking to bring Steve Morrison in. They're still looking for
that's worrying. That is.
What's worrying? They're still looking for another manager.
If Morrison is a caretaker, I thought I'd give Morrison like until January at least, to see what he can do, and then hopefully give him the role permanently.
Well, here's the thing: if he starts winning games, they're not going to sack him, are they?
Yeah, well, I'm just worried about the replacements because what if we go for I know it doesn't bear thinking about Pulis or something.
Yeah, God. Yeah, we don't want Pulis, we don't want Atkins. Morrison, fingers crossed Morrison just does a terrific job. Steve Bruce, yeah. People have said he did a good job at Newcastle, but the stats don't bear that out, really. Martin McGain says Ruben Colwell was superb. Yeah, we've got some good players. They just need a good manager. Yeah, well, let's take one last look at the current scores before we pop off. We'll be back later on at 9 p.m. tonight for the Cardiff City Forum live stream. So come back and join us for that if you want. I'll take a quick look at the scores. Bournemouth are 2-0 up against Huddersfield. Swansea still 0-0 at half-time. Bristol are losing 1-0 against West Brom at half-time. and Luton Town, crucially, beating Hull City 1-0. If Hull City come back to draw, that puts us in the relegation zone today, so we don't want that. So thanks again, Norris, for popping on. Appreciate it very much, mate. Yeah, I don't know if we'll see you later on the Cardiff City Forum live stream. Oh, look who's joining in right as we're about to log off. What did you think of the game today, Popeye?
Yeah. If you're about to log off, I'll have a quick one. I'll say the first half was dreadful, really. They should have had a penalty. Middlesbrough about 15 minutes before the actual one. I thought the one before was more of a penalty than the one they actually got. And I mean, we got in half time. We had about 10 minutes after that. We hit the bar, didn't we? And Flint had a chance and stuff. But other than that, then it filtered out. Then they scored a second, and that was it, really, wasn't it?
Are you pleased that Mick's gone and Morrison is in?
Well, Morrison's in, is he? I haven't read that.
Yeah, Steve Morrison from the under-23s is going to be temporary manager while we look for a full-time replacement, apparently.
Right. I had a quick look at Sky Bet, and the favourite at the moment is Wilder, I imagine because of what happened against Fulham when he was in the crowd. But no, I didn't realise Morrison, but we haven't got a game Tuesday, have we? It's Stoke next week, isn't it?
I would take Wilder, but I just can't. I don't know why. With a financial situation, I just can't see it. It's one of them ones.
Yeah. I looked at the forum just before I jumped on there, and he's saying Dahlmann's come out and said we need back in or we need extra finance, stuff like that. So any manager who wants to spend anything is looking pretty ominous, isn't it? So,
we can't even afford to pay the manager. Never mind get new players in.
Yeah, I also heard rumours. As I said, I put on the forum earlier. I had my ear chewed off by Diane before the game. You were saying Neil Harris was back. He was saying, and he had a £200 bet with Chew before the game. He was saying, "Oh, okay, whatever."
Yeah, I don't think.
I was watching Dalman. He was probably thinking what sauce to put in his kebab later on. That's all he cared about.
Martin McAngel on Facebook says, keep the faith, everyone. Gaz, the dude, thing is, does he want it permanent? Well, if he starts winning games, we're not going to sack him. Hugh Nicholas, Stanty. Wilder was also at the Charlton match. Oh, right. At a Charlton match. That's interesting.
Here's one. Because there's a potential that Daniel Farke could be sacked from Norwich. Would you take him?
Don't know who that is.
Yeah.
The Norwich manager.
Oh, right.
He just got 7-0 to Chelsea, and he hasn't won a game. And we need someone like that, like a coach that's like got good contacts. Like, but problem is we haven't got the infrastructure for a coach like that to thrive, because he's got all the Norwich. He's got sporting directors to sign the players and for him to coach them.
Well,
Ross, while you're here, we're going to be back on for a live stream at 9 o'clock tonight in the usual places. Are you going to be joining us for that by any chance?
Yeah, I'll jump on now. My missus' computer. She's downstairs. She's doing some work. Like, do you mind if I quickly jump on? She's like, oh yeah, I'll be on later.
Awesome stuff. Del Boyle's just apologised for going. Don't worry about it, mate. It's fine. Norris, hopefully I'll see you later on at 9 as well. Thanks for everyone who commented on Facebook and YouTube. Very much appreciated. The big news today is after 8 losses in a row, the worst losing streak in Cardiff City history, Mick McCarthy has finally left the club by mutual consent, and it looks very much like Steve Morrison, the under-23s manager, will be taking over as temporary manager while we look for a permanent replacement. But hopefully Steve Morrison will turn things around himself. Fingers crossed. So anyway, join us again at 9 o'clock tonight on the live stream if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, or you can watch us on cardiffcityforum.com, and I'll see you again later. Thanks, Popeye. See you later, mate.
Right.